Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Jamie Dawn, your professional psychic advisor, success coach, and evolutionary revolutionary. And today is Sunday, February 11th, 2018. And I'm bringing you this week's energy read right before we're getting into this partial solar eclipse, which means there's a new moon. And it's coming on February 15th, which is Thursday this week. And many of you are reporting that energy is building up, decisions are being made. I mentioned last week about lines in the sand are being drawn, about what we can and cannot accept in our world, in our lives, in our day-to-day activities, and especially in relationships. And that is going to be a big theme for us on Thursday. Now, it's already a theme for many of us as we're leading up to it. So one of the things that I would invite you to explore as you move through this week is really looking at what you need, because we're dealing with the moon, it's a new moon, and we're pulling in and we're checking in with what do we need for a good relationship with ourselves, with our emotions, with our interactions of the truth that we're speaking to ourselves, and how we communicate that. So think about all of this self-talk that you might be doing. Meditation is a very big and powerful practice. Chanting, yoga, introspection, prayer, all of these things are wonderful practices that you can do leading up to this new moon, on the new moon. And the reason that I keep mentioning the eclipse is because it's going to feel a little more intense than just any new moon. Also, this is a bookend to the solar eclipse we had in August, that Great American Solar Eclipse. So, and that one was in Leo, which was really about, am I worthy in what I'm doing and how I am expressing myself? Is it in my highest expression? Is it coming from the heart space? Am I taking all of this experience I've had in life, all of these connections, all of the relationships that I've built, and are they feeding my soul? Is it really in alignment with my truest expression? So that was the solar eclipse back in August. This solar eclipse, even though it's partial, it's still going to have some intensity around it, but I feel it's going to be friendlier. And it's really about saying, now that I've identified over the last 6 months what I've needed in relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship or groups, or even just like I mentioned before, relationships with ourselves. If I have been finding out all these things that I need and I've identified it and I've had communication and conversations, now we're going to be looking at how can this be a benefit to others? Also, what about within my circle of friendships, my circle of groups, what I might consider my soul family? How is that in alignment with this truth that I've come up with? So this week is going to be potent. Now we know that eclipses can last anywhere from the day of all the way for a month or two before or after. But we're going to be really looking at which relationships still serve us, which ones are really in alignment and which ones are not. So communication is going to be key as we move through the next few weeks. Now, I keep saying this one's going to be a friendlier one. And I say that because I feel a little bit lighter, if you will, even though it's a new moon and we do tend to pull in and get more introspective and darker, if you will, and I air quote the darker, but that's more of the introspection. I feel as though there's a lightness to this eclipse because many of you may be making deeper commitments and you're finally communicating. Here it is coming right on the heels of Valentine's Day, right? You're communicating, hey, I love you. And I love myself, and together we can make more love in this world and we can shine our heart light with other people, because it's on this axiom of that Leo energy, which is all that heart energy, right? And creativity. And it's taking all of that creative force and pushing it out into the collective. Pay attention too that many of us may be innovating our relationships. What we once thought was the way we related to each other, or even the way that we communicate with each other, we may find new inventive ways in which to do this. Our intuition is going to be quick. We're going to have all of these wonderful opportunities to pay attention to the flashes of insight that we receive, because Uranus is going to be very active, being the ruler of Aquarius. Now keep in mind too, Saturn's the traditional ruler of Aquarius, and with this solar eclipse in Aquarius, we're going to be putting some structure. We're going to want structure to these innovative ideas, these intuitive moments. Venus is in Pisces also. It went in Pisces yesterday as of this recording. And we have Neptune involved when you have Pisces energy, which gives us, yes, some fogginess and deception. We have to be careful about that. But also, we're going to have super heightened, we're going to be attracting heightened intuitive psychic energy. So you take all of that and you put it into a structured, innovative form, and what do you have? You have a new reality, a new paradigm shift that is coming. And that's what we're being invited into. And it's a paradigm shift in our relationships. So many of us who have been in traditional relationships may find ourselves expanding into non-traditional. Maybe we open up our homes to take in friends that maybe need help, instead of it necessarily being a family member, but our friends feel like family to us, you know? It could show up in where maybe we've been trying to have a child and we can't, so we're gonna adopt. I mean, I know that sounds somewhat traditional, but it's also we're being asked to think differently. Many of us who maybe in all about marriage, right? This is another one that could come up. A lot of people are like, oh, if I'm in a long-term relationship, I should be married. And it may be that you settle into, I don't need marriage. I'm perfectly fine in this partnership. So, or vice versa. Maybe you've been so stuck on it, I'll never get married again. And then suddenly your intuition and everything lines up and it makes sense for you. I think the biggest theme, and this doesn't matter if it's this eclipse or if it's just another day that ends in Y. Remove that judgment. Come in through the lens of putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Be compassionate and come from that heart-centered space and communicate where you're at in the moment, and that will help you put some more structure around what do you need in order to feel successful at a relationship. So many of you also who are looking for that, I'll say soulmate, that close connection, that new romance, that new love, this is actually a perfect time to have it activated right around the eclipse time. So don't get discouraged if maybe on Valentine's Day, if you're someone who celebrates it and wants to have that Valentine that you connect with, be your own Valentine, of course. Grab another friend who maybe if you want to spend time with somebody else, you ask somebody, let's just hang out. But don't lose faith and hope, because I really feel the energy around this eclipse may just bring you that one true love that you've been waiting on. So this is some really exciting times. And I will say this, if you're looking to attract that true love, it's going to take your effort as well to be able to say, I love you, to open that heart space, to communicate what you need, and also to follow those signs when they show up. So, all right, we have some work cut out for us, but I feel it's gonna be super, super fun this week, and that we can find some light in that darker moment of the new moon. So pull in, say, what do I need? And then how can I push it out into the collective to be an act of service? In the meantime, you know you can find me at jamiedawn.com, 12listen.com, 12radio on Thursdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific for Let's Get Real Radio. And I'm also wanting to just let you guys know my schedule is filling up very fast. Thank you for your patience and your time and your communication with me. When you comment, when you request an appointment with me, I'm making myself as available as I possibly can. But if you'd like to schedule an appointment with me, we got to get in there fast, because I now have about a 2-week waiting period for certain days and times. So just putting that out there. Thank you so much for liking these videos, for sharing them, for commenting, whatever else I can do to support you, that we can continue to build this positive community. Let's do that, because we're here to hopefully fulfill and express from our spirit the true essence of human nature. All right. Talk to you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Happy Eclipse week, guys. Take care.